Yo, what's good? It's Elijah Blake rocking with Blurred Culture today.
You and I can rest in peace. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Your love's as good as dead to me.
Anybody who knows me knows that melodically, like, I'm in love with Coldplay and U2. Like, U2 to me is are like the godfathers of melody. So just to do a song, and when I went into the studio and I did the song, it was originally like for a T.I. record. So when I went into the studio and I did the song, I was like hearing this hook idea, right? And I just kept singing it like Bono. And it's so crazy, is by the time the song got to, by the time Swizz heard the song, I didn't even have to tell him, he went and put Bono on the song. And it's just the craziest thing to me. Like, when everybody was leaving the studio, I just went in and like had this idea and just started singing the melody. I sung it with like my best Bono impersonation. And then I'm in the studio like 2 years later, and Swizz is working on Usher, and he comes into the studio and he's like, yeah, I know who you are. I was like, nah, you must got me confused with, you know what I mean? I'm like, so he's like, nah, you did this record that I got Kanye and Bono, and I was like, wait a minute. And he played it for me, blew my mind. I couldn't even focus and like, you know what I mean, like really figure out what I was gonna do for the rest of the day. It's just like, on one hand I'm working with like my idols, like working with Usher, and then on the other hand, you know, Swizz walks in the studio and tells me I have a song with him, Bono, and Kanye. I'm just like, man, it's incredible. Man, so me and No ID were in the studio for about like two years, and we just kept creating and creating, and I was kind of nervous because I'm like, man, I gave so much. Because let me just set this straight, before I even knew how to write a song, my goal was my artistry and telling my story to the world. And you know, like, I grew up on the Stevie Wonders and those people, so I've always just wanted to sing. I grew up in church and I've always wanted to sing. I wanted creative control, and I learned that in the music industry, people are afraid of what's not proven. So you know, of course, when I was first going into my stomping grounds, the people who were winning at that time were Neo and Dream. So I was like, all right, so if you prove that you can write hits out there for other people, then the labels will kind of give you creative control over it, and you know, kind of say, all right, well, you know what you're doing. So that's how I started writing songs for other people. But at first, I didn't really know if I could write a song. I just didn't have people to write songs for me. You know what I mean? So now that where the single's coming out, these are all my stories, songs that I've been through, like relationships, and just very as transparent as possible. Things that most guys would be uncomfortable to talk about. I'm just kind of like putting that S on my chest and be like, yo, I'm out here.